Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be discussing as well as breaking down some of the newly leaked listings as part of the upcoming 2023 Transformers Rise of the Beast toy line, as well as also talking through some of the newly shown images for the upcoming Transformers core class figures that shall be coming out for the next wave of Transformers Studio Series. So an awful lot of Studio Series news to talk about in today's video, but I'm definitely not complaining whatsoever. So yesterday I did talk about the upcoming listings in regards to the Rise of the Beasts Leader Class Scourge and Optimus Primal, and following on from that in the same wave, we've got some now deluxe releases. Now it's worth mentioning that the figures that I'll be discussing in the Rise of the Beast portion of this video are merely just speculation at the time of this recording. We're merely just going by a few UPC codes, a few online listings via Walmart. However, 9 times out of 10, 99% of the time, these listings are always proven to be legitimate, so I'm going to go ahead and say that this is definitely the assortment we can be expecting to see as early as 2023. So to kickstart things off, joining the Leader Scourge and Optimus Primal will be a deluxe class Airazor. Now this is actually super exciting. For those of you who recall when Transformers Bumblebee came out, we merely just saw 2 deluxe releases for that movie, and then it was pretty much nothing for a couple of months, and those were the Volkswagen Bumblebee and Dropkick. Now considering that Rise of the Beasts has been delayed as much as it has been, I'm willing to bet that these figures would have been pretty much ready to go now. However, considering that the movie was postponed by a year, they've basically been able to work on more characters, hence why we're looking at what could just be a solid case of Rise of the Beast figures, which is super exciting. So we're expecting to see Airazor, so it's awesome to see that there will be some Maximals in that first wave, but we're also of course expecting to see a Bumblebee. Now this was just a matter of time. Bumblebee is of course one of the most popular characters. He will sport a really cool off-road Camaro in that movie, so awesome to note that we shall also be seeing Bumblebee in their upcoming toy line. And also something worth mentioning is that pretty much all of the most recent Bumblebee movie figures that we've seen have been amazing, so I'm really expecting the same level of quality from these Rise of the Beast figures. And then surprisingly, in the middle ground of this video, there is in fact actually a new listing for the Studio Series, and at the moment it's just titled Studio Series Deluxe War for Cybertron Bumblebee. Now this is really intriguing. I'm willing to bet that this could potentially be a Studio Series 86 version of Bumblebee. Not entirely sure as to where the War for Cybertron segment of that is coming from. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Perhaps they are actually going to be adapting some of those video game characters into the Studio Series, but we'll hold off on that thought for now. I'm thinking perhaps this could be a reissue of the Volkswagen Netflix Bumblebee. Of course, we've really just got to wait and see, but that is a really intriguing listing. I am hoping to see video game characters injected into the Studio Series, and it has been something that has been heavily rumored for quite some time. But it is worth mentioning that I really do think that it's basically just going to be a War for Cybertron Siege or Earthrise Netflix Bumblebee. And then we turn to some of the official reveals. Now these consist of the next 2 core class figures that will be coming out with the wave that includes the Dark of the Moon Bumblebee, Revenge of the Fallen Sideways, the 86RC Galvatron and Thundercracker, and the first character we have is a Studio Series 86 core class Ratchet. Now this is a character that we've known has been coming for quite some time, however exactly what it would entail remained a mystery up until now, and it's a complete brand new 100% original mold. It doesn't appear to borrow any of the engineering from the Earthrise version, so they haven't essentially shrunken down that figure. They've created a brand new figure from the ground upwards, and for the core class I actually think it looks pretty awesome. If anything, it's more convincing than that Earthrise figure, as there's no parts forming at all, and the actual ambulance itself looks super cool, but we'll touch base with that in just a second. Robot mode really nicely done. The head sculpt looks awesome. I think the chest piece is wicked, and the fact that they've been able to kind of get round having the cross insignias on the shoulders I think is a massive plus, and something which I'm noticing with this Ratchet when in comparison to some of the most recent ones, even including the Bumblebee movie version, is that he actually has proper G1 accurate red hands. That's something that we haven't seen on the Earthrise, and something that sadly that Bumblebee movie version was also missing. So that's really cool. Awesome to see the crosses on the shoulders. That was also a detail that went missing on the Earthrise version. And he also includes 2 metallic silver blasters. I wasn't expecting him to come with 2 accessories. Usually we just get 1 weapon with these characters, but it's awesome to see that there'll be 2. I'm not a huge fan of the legs, and it sadly doesn't appear as if though he's going to have much range where the knees are concerned. I really guess I'll just have to wait and see to get this guy in hand to actually check out the articulation for myself. But robot mode looking pretty decent for the core class, and then we have an image of him in vehicle mode, which I think is probably the better out of the 2 modes, and this looks so cool. overall a really convincing ambulance. To go back to my earlier point, doesn't appear to parts form in any shape or form. I think the siren bar looks great, the silver that we've got for the grille looks awesome, so definitely a pretty solid release. But arguably the most intriguing reveal that we've got today is the Dark of the Moon core class LASERBEAK. Now this is something that I've been speaking about over on the channel for quite some time now, and I think it's safe to say that this reveal has absolutely winded me. I did not expect it to be a pink version of Transformers Dark of the Moon Bumblebee. They've literally gone ahead and given us a pink Bumblebee. I never thought we would see this guy in the main line, let alone for the core class. It's just crazy, but great scale. Of course, in the movie, LASERBEAK does transform into a pink Bumblebee. I was kind of hoping for a proper LASERBEAK, considering that the version that came out for Dark of the Moon Soundwave wasn't the best, but this really isn't a bad figure by any stretch of the imagination. The robot mode really does remind me of the old Legions class figure that we saw way back in the day for Dark of the Moon. I can definitely see that kind of where the chest and the wings are concerned, and even the transformation for the legs does look vaguely familiar, but considering it's only $10, and I think this is our first live-action Michael Bay character to actually be a core class, I think they've done a very, very good job. The head sculpt looks impeccable, actually even better than the Dark of the Moon head sculpt, and considering this is core class, that's pretty bonkers. I think the detail for the grille looks great, the robot mode overall looks awesome. I do believe there's some inaccuracies here. I don't believe when LASERBEAK actually transformed into Pink Bumblebee, he had the door wings. I could be mistaken, but I do just think it was kind of the robot mode, but overall this is looking really nicely done. He will include a blaster, which looks excellent, and I think the detail where the legs are concerned looks great. And then as we take a look here at the vehicle mode, it is basically that 2011 Camaro, completely done this time round in a really awesome dark looking pink. We'll no doubt see this repainted in the future into an actual yellow Camaro Bumblebee, and I'll definitely pick it up. I think it's great, a really cool figure, definitely a novelty one, and considering they're doing a figure such as this in the core class, I'm almost willing to bet that Skids and Mudflap could be on the horizon. This is the perfect scale for Skids and Mudflap. I can really see them being in the core class, especially adapting some of the engineering that we're seeing here from this LASERBEAK, and we also have an image of the core class Ratchet in package, which looks pretty decent, and here also a really cool image of LASERBEAK, kind of with that Tea Party diorama in the background. So overall, really exciting things. Definitely intrigued to see as to what some of the other Transformers core class figures they have coming up in the future, as this LASERBEAK is probably one of the only reveals in quite some time that's really thrown me and took me by surprise. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below in regards to both the official reveals for Studio Series and of course the non-official reveals both for Rise of the Beasts and that Studio Series Deluxe War for Cybertron Bumblebee. What do you guys think that's going to be? Do you think it will be a War for Cybertron video game version of Bumblebee, or do you think it will be a Transformers War for Cybertron Siege Netflix version? Definitely be sure to sound off down in the comment section below, and until my next video, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.